Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Journeyman Football Manager with Zebu Nation. We are once again with the Wolves. We are once again in the Premier League, and this is our mid-season review. 20 games in the books. We are currently sitting 7th place. So after 10 games since our last update, not much has changed. Just sort of the number of games has changed. We're at, as I mentioned, 20 games in, 9 wins, 5 draws, 6 losses, plus 3 goal differential, a total of 32 points. That ties us with Southampton. And that's really what we're battling it out with. We're battling it out with Southampton and Hull and Tottenham for that 6th and 7th place. And maybe we can get some sort of extra competition, some sort of post-season competition. That's really what I would love to achieve this season. You know, obviously you want to try to compete for the title, but if you look at the top 5 teams, they're really pulling away from the rest of the league. Maybe not necessarily in points, because we're only 2 points behind Chelsea, but look at their goal differentials. Plus 17 for Chelsea and Liverpool, plus 14 for Man City, plus 30 for Arsenal, plus 39 for Man United. So those guys, they're really killing everybody in the league, and the rest of us are just kind of fighting for the scraps. So our hope this season is that we can be the best of the rest and maybe finish in 6th or 7th place, get some kind of postseason competition, and everything will be cool. And as you can see, the board is happy with us, 81%, but as you can see, our expectations have changed. We're now mid-table expectations as opposed to just avoid relegation. And I decided to make that change this year to maybe, I don't know, put a bit of a pep in the step of our team, let them know that we're looking to achieve more this season, and also to get a little bit more respect from the board in terms of transfer budget and all that kind of stuff. So speaking of all that kind of stuff, let's run down the checklist real quick. Finances still looking good. 61 million, so we're a little down right now. We've lost some money. We were previously up at the 70 million mark, and a lot of that money went into the transfer budget. As you can see, we're back up to 58 million in the transfer budget, so we've got money to make a huge signing. It's just nobody wants to sign with us for whatever reason. Our payroll budget also has skyrocketed to 90 million, even though we're currently only spending 67. So we've got a lot of room to make improvements. It's just very, very hard to find players who wanna play for us. All right, so board I mentioned, we're very secure at 81%. We've finished our youth facilities, our training facilities. We've all been upgraded, so we can take a look at the club here. Maybe. There we go. And our facilities. So we now have superb youth facilities. We're youth level 2, hoping to improve that. We've got superb training facilities, good corporate facilities. So we're looking very, very good. We do have established youth recruitment. So hopefully we're going to start getting some more of those top level recruits coming in. But maybe we can we not decrease scouting range? No. I was hoping that maybe we could increase our youth level. There we go. Facilities, increase youth level. I would like the club to consider pushing the academy to the next attainable level. Improving the club's youth facility would encourage the agreed philosophy. Therefore, we approve your request. All right. So there we go. We're going to keep pushing that level, because if we can't sign players, if nobody's going to come to us as a free agent, then we have to, promote from within. So that's what we're going to start doing. Yes. All right. So, transfers. People want some of our players on loan, but we have refused them. We did get our 2 new players. They finally joined us just last week. It is January 5th. They both joined us on January 1st. So we got Joris Gagnon, I guess. Anyway, he's a central defender. He's played 1 game for us already. 23-year-old from the Ivory Coast. This guy is a beast. Physically, mentally he's very good, and technically he's got it where it counts. So that's all fine and dandy. And Farid Karimi, 21-year-old Iranian. We set the record for the highest transfer fee ever paid for an Iranian player. So I guess that's good, but he's a 4-star player. hopefully we're looking to get a little bit more creativity in the middle of our midfield, in the center of our midfield, I guess. And he's a guy who's very creative. He got great first touch, passing, vision. So hopefully we can have this guy distribute the ball to some of our playmakers and score some more goals that way. So other than that, those are our two big signees from the transfer window. And we had one big exit, James McCarthy, our tackling machine, the 30-year-old Irishman who had been playing our defensive midfielder role. He expressed that he wanted to leave. So I was like, all right, fine. You're getting old. 30 years old is pretty much when I start getting rid of players. So we were able to get $4 million. He went to Tottenham. I didn't really want to sell him to Tottenham, but the other teams that were in, he wanted to go to Newcastle, but Newcastle wasn't interested. So we sent him to Tottenham because the other teams that bid for him wanted us to continue to contribute to his salary, and I wasn't really interested in doing that. I wasn't desperate to get rid of the guy or anything. He just wanted to go, and we need to make room for some of our younger players, so this works out pretty well for everyone involved. It does bolster Tottenham, which we're fighting for those. We're fighting for spots with Tottenham, so not too happy about that. Also, on the Tottenham front, they have not offered me a job, but they have given me an interview for their head coach or manager. Yes, manager. So that would be interesting if I traded him to Tottenham and then I went and moved to Tottenham. That would be intriguing. But anyway, youth level to be increased. All right, that's about it. For the mid-season review, I mean, we just had the quarter season review, so there's not much going on other than we can look at how we've done in those last 10 games. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so our last game was a 2-2 draw versus Derby, and we followed that up with another 2-2 draw versus Watford, a game we should have won. Then we beat Leicester 3-1, and then we had the brutal stretch of 3 games: Liverpool, Tottenham, Arsenal, and we lost all 3 of those games. We probably should have beat Tottenham, or at least had a draw, but they came and they scored a goal early, and we just couldn't get anything going. And that's something that I've noticed with this team. We don't have a high-level striker who can break down the good teams. Now, we got strikers who can score against mediocre teams, as you can see from the final 5 games of that stretch, where we beat Stoke 2-1, beat Sheffield Wednesday 2-1, had just an insane 3-3 draw versus Brentford. Another game we should have won. We went up, I think, 3-1, and then they came back and tied it up, and we just couldn't stop their momentum. So that was a little disappointing. And then 2-1 versus Burton and 1-0 versus Southampton. But as you can see, against the better teams, we have to rely on our defense because our offense is just not going to do it. We don't have anybody who can punch through and score amazing goals. We can score goals if it's within our system, but if we're forced to break down a defense one-on-one, we don't have that guy. So that's what I've been looking for in the transfer market, or anywhere I can find him, and we just can't find that guy. Basically, right now we're looking for anybody with finishing, with flair, with speed, and those kind of people just are not interested in playing for the Wolves for whatever reason. All right, so I guess that's it. So, we're on a 5-game streak, which is pretty good, undefeated, 4 wins in our last 5. So let's hope we can keep that run going, because we got, some winnable games next, but we also have, some very difficult games coming up. Man United, Man City, Newcastle, those are all very, very important games. Hull is also an important game because their Hull is right below us in the table, I do believe. Yeah, they're right below us. So we got to start winning some of those games. We got to beat Hull, we got to beat Tottenham and Middlesbrough, and we just beat Southampton, so that was a big win for us. And yeah. So that's that. All right, let's continue. Let's get to our match preview, and we are playing Middlesbrough right now, one of those teams I mentioned we need to beat. So this would be a very, very fine victory for us. As you can see, they're down here in 11th place, but they're only 4 points away from us. So we gotta start separating from these kind of teams. They've got 3 players out on injury apparently, so that's good. Or is that us? No, that's them. Yeah, 3 players out on injury, so that should help us out, hopefully. All right, so here is our diamond formation, of course. And as you can see, we've been going with a little bit of youth lately. Speaking of that, I want to see, is Lopez? Yes, Lopez is healthy. So we're going to bring him up to the bench and then put him in for Garbett and let Garbett sit out. Because we just played a match, so some of our guys are a little bit tired. Been playing guys like Corey Whalen more, Ben Sheaf more. There's Joris Gagnon, our new guy. He's in there playing with Alfie Moss, and that's pretty much going to be our starting duo going forward. Unfortunately, Bath and House, they've reached their level. They're 3-star guys. They're pretty good, but they're just not that good. So we're going to go with a little bit of a youth movement and see if some of these younger defensive players can start to grow. We need George Lopez to grow. We need Keith Blake to grow. These guys are, the future of our squad. And as you can see, Blake is definitely improving quite a bit, leaps and bounds. Lopez not quite as fast, but he's doing well. He's doing well. And there's our other new signee, Karimi. We moved him into deep line playmaker position, dropped Connor Cody to the bench. And, just because Cody is more of a defensive player, Caridi is more of a playmaker. So we're trying to, team him up with Javier Molina, and maybe we can get a little bit more dynamic offensively. Also, McGinn is still there, still a solid central midfielder. And then offensively, Schick and Akpom have seemed to be playing well together, so we're going to leave them in there and see what they can do. All right, so here we go. Let's start the match. Moved Akpom to the complete forward role. Schick can play complete forward too, but we're going to have him play the advanced forward just so we can counterattack if need be. Continue to opposition instructions. Close down. They're running the old Burning Man formation, so let's close down on their advanced players. Wingers and strikers. It looks like their fullbacks are also coming forward. Friend and Pacini. Not never. How about always? There we go. Not you. You. Hello, you. Close down on them old fullbacks. They're coming forward. All right. Pep talk. Let's be passionate. I fully expect you to keep our run going. Ooh, nobody cared for that. Too much pressure on these guys. Take a drink of my Boylan's cream soda. It's not a sponsored podcast. Whatever this is. Let's play. But, if Boylan's soda ever does want to sponsor, like, a video that gets, like, 5-10 views, then, this is the place to be. All right. Let's get a stop. There's Karimi. There's our new dude. Playing the deep line playmaker role. Not... What was that? Oh, that was a text. I got a text. Better check that out. All right. Not during a video, though. We'll check it out later. All right. 250 down. Not a lot going on. Alfie Mawson has taken the captain's armband because we've demoted all of our other captains. So we might have to change captains next season. I don't know how that'll go. Now, next season with FM18, that's going to be an even more difficult decision to make. Here's Akpom making a run, gets by a man, and shoots it over the goal. I wish his finishing was better. He would be a great player if his finishing was better. But, yeah, they've put a lot of effort for FM18. They put a lot of effort into squad dynamics. So it's going to be all about, like, who's friends with who and where are the cliques and where are the people who are, like, going to stick together when times are tough. There's Whalen with a nice steal. So on this team, you look, we got a lot of Scottish players. We got a lot of Irish players. Will they stick together? Will they, not want to be sold? Schick was offsides. Will they not get along with each other? I don't know. Will there be rivalries between different cliques? We don't know quite the extent of this squad dynamics, but we know that they're going to make a big deal of it this season for FM18, so we got to start thinking about stuff like that. So would the team revolt if we try to, change captains, or if we try to trade away an old veteran? That might cramp my style because I like to trade away old veterans in favor of younger players. There's Schick getting forward to Akpom. Akpom's on the loose. Yes. I told you, those two guys have been playing well together. Maybe separately they haven't been playing so great, but when I put the two of them in there together, they've got some chemistry. So there it is. Schick to Ekpom. He just breaks loose from the defense. Very nice goal. Clinical, as they might say on the television. But yeah, that's another thing. I mentioned that in the previous video, in the quarter season update, I mentioned I wanted our shooting percentage to go up. And it has gone up. We're now, I think, 5th or 6th in the league in shooting percentage. We're up near 50%, so that's definitely an improvement that's happened over the last 10 games. And it's shown with our record. Our record has improved, especially lately. So there we go. We got a 7.1 rating for Ekpom, looking very good. Everybody else looking good. Gagnon, look at that, 7.0 rating. Karimi, 6.8. So everybody's doing decently. All right. Today is all about the supporters, apparently. Let's give the fans something to cheer for. Blake is up. Oh, yeah. We also have the youngster Mason Blake in goal for some reason. I just left him in there. He's got a couple of consecutive shutouts, so we're leaving him in there. The Blake brothers holding it down defensively, Keith and Mason. And we just signed their youngest brother to a contract as well, coming out of our academy, 17-year-old midfielder. I do believe he's not as good as these guys. The younger brother is not as good as the older brothers, but, we want to keep the family tradition going, and he's good enough. He's like a 2.5, maybe a 3-star recruit. So we'll see. We'll see what he pans out to be. He could pan out to be a bench player for us, and that would be fine. Hello. Somebody tackle this guy. There's Mason Blake, the young goalkeeper. Like I said, there's been a youth movement, and the youth has been paying off in the last few games, so we're going to keep going with them. I don't know, the old veterans just, I don't know, but here's Ekpom on a run. He's free again. Ooh. He would have so many goals if what is his finishing? I can't see. We're getting too many highlights. Here's McGinn saving it to Karimi. Let's see if he can make a play out wide to Whalen. Whalen looking around. Whoa, what a cross. Lopez. Did that go off our man or their man? Looks like it went off their man for our near side corner kick. And here it is. Number 11, McGinn. The Scottish international sends it in. There's Ekpom with a header. He's so athletic. He's fast. He's strong. He can jump. Just his technicals aren't there. All right, here's Judge with a corner. Who are we playing again? Middlesborough? Yeah, Middlesborough, okay. So into the game, I forgot who we were playing. Doesn't matter who we playing, it's just the next opponent, right? Dickerson now on the far side, looking out wide to Friend. Friend centers it. Hutchins, oh, there's a big stop from Blake. Point blank range. So here's a question. Are some of our veterans in trouble? Do we get rid of guys like Minolet in favor of Blake? I mean, I knew that time was coming, but is this year the year? I don't know. Here's Schick, gets dispossessed. 51 minutes down. Free kick at midfield. Mawson gets it forward to Lopez to McGinn. Molina looks forward to Schick. Schick out wide to Whalen. Pass is intercepted. That was a pretty risky pass. I don't know if I like that. Hitchin has it now for Middlesborough. Starting the counterattack. That was a terrible pass. Mawson intercepts. Gets it forward to Ekpom, to Molina. Molina looking out wide. Nope, to Karimi. Karimi gets it out wide to Whalen. Whalen just won the Young Irish Player of the Year award, so that was very cool. McGinn gets it out, tries to get it out to Whalen. I mean, Whalen hasn't played many games for us. He's played a lot in the under-20s and played for us in some cup competitions. But somehow he managed to win the Young Irish Player of the Year award. There's a shot in for Blake. And we also, one of our other reserves won the Young Welsh Player of the Year award. Here's Judge with a corner kick on the far side. Blake gathers it in. It was our advanced midfielder. Is he on the bench? No, he's not even on the bench right now. He's one of our young advanced midfielders. I can't even remember his name right now. But he was the Young Welsh Player of the Year, so good on him. whomever he may be. No, his name. I'm just totally blanking on his name. That's how little he's played for us. But he's a good prospect. He's a 4-star prospect, so he should play more for us, I suppose. Anyway, 62 minutes down. We're holding on to our 1-0 lead. I think maybe we should go on the defensive a little bit to try and hold this lead. We'll drop our fullbacks back and, play a little defensive here. I was watching the game of the week last week. I forget who it was. I think it was Arsenal. But it could be Liverpool. Maybe it was Liverpool. Anyway, the announcer guy was talking about how they always send their fullbacks forward. Whether they're up a goal, down a goal, up 2 goals, doesn't matter. They send their fullbacks forward, and it's cost them a lot of games. Games where they should have won, they should have just dropped back, played defense, win by a goal, win by 2, but instead they're sending their fullbacks forward, getting caught on counterattack, and giving up goals. And that's happened to us. Because we also send our fullbacks forward all the time. Here's Akpom making a play, going around the corner, centers it. That's an easy goal for Molina. This is what I'm looking for from my attackers. If these 3 players, especially if you add Molina in the mix there, if these 3 attacking players can play like this, then we're going to win some games. I mean, that was just too easy. It was a great play from Akpom, and that's what he's capable of. He might not be the best pure striker, pure scorer, but he can set people up. He can get assists. Here's Karimi now with the free kick. Testing him out as a free kick maker because nobody else on our team is particularly good at it. So maybe he can get a better role with our team. There's Lopez on the throw-in on the near side to Schick. Schick with the yellow card gets it to Molina. That should have been a goal there. That would have put the game away, but still up 2 goals. It's looking good. So anyway, the announcer at that game, he mentioned that specifically, and so I think he was a fullback when he played. So I think this was like something that was particularly annoying to him, so he just kept mentioning it over and over again. But I'm able to take that little bit of information and use it for Football Manager too. And, since I've been doing that, when we get ahead, we drop our fullbacks back in defense, and we can't stop that. Hitchin with a great shot. Blake got a finger on it, but couldn't stop it. Just as I was making a point at how good our defense was. But this wasn't a counterattack, right? This was a straight-up play, just sort of bad marking by our central defenders there. I'm gonna blame that on them. Gagnon still working out the kinks a little bit, but we're up a goal. 87 minutes down. Schick misses that throw-in. They're gonna start a counterattack here. Middlesborough. Pacini on the near sideline. Gets it up to Judge. Judge crosses it. Our defense got beat on the back post. I hate that more than anything. When crosses go to the back post and our central defense can't get up there and win the header. There's Gagnon, just misses it. Capete scored on us. So this is going to be a 2-2 draw. Yeah. So they took their draw and they went home. So we're not happy about that. Let's be assertive. Not happy with your performance out there. So that just blew my whole fullbacks theory out of the water. But we still gained a point on Southampton, so that puts us up to 6th place. Guess that's better than nothing. Middlesbrough also gained a point, but they didn't gain that point on us, so I guess it's all right, I suppose. All right, let's leave this match. Get out of here. Post-match press conference. I don't care about you. Let's look at what's coming up. What's coming up is we got the FA Cup 4th round coming up. We drew Norwich, so that's a pretty good draw for us. They're in the Sky Bet Championship, so we should be able to beat them fairly handily, I would hope. But we got a tough run coming up until we play them. We got Man U, Man City, Newcastle, and Bournemouth. I don't know if Bournemouth... Yeah, Bournemouth is a pretty good game, too. So there's Man City, Man U, Bournemouth, Newcastle. So everybody is, pretty decent team in that run. So that's going to be a very difficult 4-game run. It would have been nice to have beaten Middlesbrough right here, but, what are you going to do? What are you going to say? I don't know. So we're going to keep the youth movement going, I think, for the foreseeable future. For as long as they keep this undefeated streak alive, we're going to keep the youngsters in there. And then we'll see what to do about the veterans later. The last thing to think about, I suppose, is the transfer window. Transfer window just opened. It doesn't close again. Forever? Does it ever close? It must close. Open. It's like debugging a code. You got the beginning of a string. Where's the end of the string? I do not see it. It has to end shortly, I would think. I thought it was just like a week or two. Is it forever? I guess I'm just not seeing it. It must be hidden. Must be hidden in one of these dates. I just can't see it on the calendar. Anyway, we're going to see if we make any moves before the transfer deadline ends, if it ever ends. And I guess that'll be at the 3/4 season update is when we'll show those. All right, so I'm running out of steam here, so we're just going to end it. All right. Until next time, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.